Here's what's happening now. We've got raindrops rolling in from the west side of the state, but we've got bigger fish to fry. Strong storms in the forecast, but Thursday and Friday, we'll detail that coming up. Sandra?
Thanks, Ben. Also ahead, the suspect in the Flint terror attack goes to court, what he mumbled as he walked into the courtroom, and what happens next. But up first, questions swirl around a man accused of assaulting a woman jogging in Hines Park. He's also been named as a person of interest in the disappearance of Danielle Stieslicki. Her parents are only talking to Local 4.
We hope that the Hines Park victim inspires many other people to come forward, and those things may also help build parts of our missing puzzle.
A Local 4 Defender exclusive, First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sandra Ali. Right now, police in 3 cities are looking at this man you see right here in court today to face charges connected to an attack on a jogger in Hines Park. Floyd Galloway has also been named a person of interest in the disappearance of Danielle Stieslicki. We've been covering that mystery since December. In fact, no one has seen her since December 2nd of 2016. That's when she left her job at MetLife in Southfield. Her Jeep Renegade was found parked outside her apartment on Halstead Road near Grand River Avenue in Farmington Hills. No one knows what happened between those 2 locations or what happened to the 28-year-old woman. Hours ago, her parents spoke with Defender Karen Drew about these new developments.
There's a man named Floyd Galloway. He's charged in an attack at Hines Park. Also, Floyd Galloway was the security guard that worked in the same office your daughter worked, and his home was searched in this case. What's your reaction to that?
My initial reaction is scared, because that means the outcome of the description of the jogger is something that could be the fate of my daughter. And my daughter didn't get the chance to get out and get help. So it also is a reality of the bravery of this person to have been strong enough to fight it off and to come forward.
And Karen will have much more of her exclusive interview coming up tonight at 5, including what Danielle's mom had to say about her reaction with Floyd Galloway, her interaction with Floyd Galloway at work. And now back to the court case this morning in Livonia. Floyd Galloway already facing a long list of charges. And also he's the focus of additional investigations, including the Stieslicki case. Sean Lay was in court this morning. He joins us now with more on the investigations. Sean?
So much going on inside and outside of court. First and foremost, we have learned Livonia police. They have taken a DNA sample. Now that Floyd Galloway is under arrest, they are rushing that sample to the state crime lab. Over to Allen Park, investigators there. They too have DNA from a recent sex assault. They are rushing that today to the state crime lab to see if it's somehow tied to Floyd Galloway. And today, for the very first time, Farmington Hills police, right up the road from here, they are naming Galloway as their person of interest in the disappearance of Danielle Stieslicki. It's our first look at Floyd Galloway in court today in Livonia. Police in Farmington Hills searched Galloway's home in the past, investigating the disappearance of Danielle Stieslicki. Today, Farmington Hills police say evidence obtained in those searches, combined with evidence from a brutal sex assault in Livonia at Hines Park, resulted in Galloway being charged and arrested at his job yesterday. Police continue to call Galloway a person of interest in the Stieslicki disappearance.
I can't believe a law enforcement agency, or at least like to believe a law enforcement agency, wouldn't bring charges based on an open investigation that has never named him publicly. So we'll deal with that in due course.
Before Danielle Stieslicki went missing last December, a woman was brutally attacked in Hines Park in September. Today, Galloway was charged with kidnapping, sexual assault, and assault to do harm. This is the suspect sketch from the Hines Park attack last fall. This is a new sketch from Allen Park police in a brutal assault on a woman at midnight, June 10th. A woman was forced into the back of a man's car and sexually assaulted. DNA from that attack is being sent to the crime lab today. Let's make it clear that Galloway is not charged in this new Allen Park case, and he has not been charged in the disappearance of Danielle Stieslicki. Let's talk about now where Floyd Galloway is at this very moment, being held in jail. But if he can make a $750,000 cash bond, he can get out on a GPS tether so authorities can track basically his every move. Prosecutors, they wanted the $1 million cash bond. They didn't get it, so it's $750,000. Coming up at 5 o'clock, much more about who this person is, Floyd Galloway, and how his attorney says his wife remains with him, standing by him at this time. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Sean. And of course, stay with Local 4 for continuing coverage of this entire investigation. And also go to clickondetroit.com for a Stieslicki case timeline and also updates. You can find them there around the clock. Breaking news right now from Detroit's east side. We're on the scene of a double shooting. This happened on the 5700 block of Marlboro. Both men, we're being told, were sitting on a porch when a suspect ran up and shot both of them. One has died. The other is in critical condition right now. Detroit police say they're investigating. We're also on the scene. We're gathering more information. We will bring you an update as soon as we get new details. In other news, Flint Airport stabbing suspect Amor Fatoui was back in court this morning for a detention hearing, mumbling Allahu Akbar twice as he entered the courtroom. The judge ordered the 49-year-old to remain in jail. U.S. attorneys offered no evidence today because they say Fatoui volunteered to stay locked up pending trial, knowing he couldn't be released since the Montreal native would be held by U.S. immigration authorities if he was granted bond. He is due back in court next week. A construction worker has died after falling on the site of the new Little Caesars Arena. Officials say the 46-year-old man fell 75 feet from a catwalk. He was in cardiac arrest when EMS arrived there at the scene. They took him to the hospital. The incident happened this morning right around 8. All of the other workers on the site, they have been sent home for the day. It was an emotional sentencing for a woman convicted in a drunk driving crash in Warren. 26-year-old Monica Lacey begged the family of the victim for forgiveness before the judge handed down her sentence. Lacey's car was going 80 miles an hour when she slammed into a car driven by Helene Good. This was back in April of 2016. Well, he died. Today, Lacey was sentenced to 12 to 25 years in prison for the crash. Right now, the first forecast really couldn't look much better. It has been a beautiful day today, but it sounds like some changes are coming. Let's go ahead and check in with Ben Bailey. Hey, Ben.
Yeah, we're right smack in the middle of this transition, and it is going to start to feel a lot like summer and quickly. Fast forward to tomorrow. This is the severe risk, and we are under a slight risk. That's category 2 of 5 out there for most of us. It gets a little bit lower here to a marginal risk north of the city, but by Friday, everybody's in the yellow, so slight risk for everybody. Both days we're looking for strong and potentially severe storms. There's some stuff out there right now on 4 Live radar, but this is just rain, and it is drying out pretty quickly as it moves east. Still could be a couple raindrops in our west zone here this evening. We'll talk more about this severe threat and, of course, your 4th of July forecast all in a few minutes. Sandra.
Thanks, Ben. First at 4, we're also on top of stories from around the world and across America. And we begin right now with an update on that widespread cyber attack that hit 65 countries, including the U.S. The ransomware attack encrypts and locks entire hard drives and then asks users to shell out about $300 in Bitcoin just to unlock their machines. So far, more than 12,000 machines have been impacted, with major companies as well in Russia and Britain among the targets. Right now, it's still not clear who's behind the attack or when it could stop. Moving on to China now, where emergency crews take some drastic action to protect a bridge from raging floodwaters. Take a look. That dam was detonated to discharge the floodwaters. Continuous rain has pushed the flood level above what the dam really could handle. The water was starting to eat away at a nearby bridge. Releasing the water should save it. Still ahead here, first at 4, ride sharing is getting easier for people who don't have smartphones. Find out how you can send a car for your parents or even your grandparents. Also ahead, social media goes nuts over this little trinket right here. It looks like a giant paper clip, but wait until you hear the price. And Devin is here continuing our Local 4 special event.
Sandra, the battle over health care has engulfed the current Congress and much of the nation, and we've dedicated today to looking at this issue and how it affects all of us. Up next, the key questions that have divided Congress for years.
And we're following breaking news right now out of Harrison Township. The Macomb County Sheriff's Department looking for this woman and her 2-month-old baby. This is Carol Maxwell. They say Carol Maxwell does not have custody of her son Terrence. As a result, an arrest warrant for kidnapping has now been issued. These two were last seen at a home in Harrison Township. Investigators say Carol Maxwell does not have a car. If you have any information at all, you're being asked to call police right away. We'll be right back.
Sexually.
Today, President Trump expressed confidence the Senate would pass the Republican health care bill. Right now, 9 Republicans have refused to support the bill as is. To pass the plan, Republicans can only lose 2 votes. Republican leadership now has at least 2 more weeks to try and get the votes needed. That's when lawmakers will return to the Capitol from the 4th of July break. And as the battle rages on in Washington, many of you, your families and your friends are wondering what's going to happen to your health care. And that's why Local 4 is dedicating an entire day to the health care crisis. Devin Scillian continues our special coverage. Devin?
Well, Sandra, our coverage continues with a look at how this battle has been one of the most bitter, divisive fights in Congress, not just this year, but for more than 7 years now. And we look at some of the key questions that have been fueling that debate all along. Pretty much from the moment President Obama signed the Affordable Care Act into law, Republicans and conservatives vowed to erase it. But even with 7 years to work with, a way to do that was elusive. The president found immediate repeal and replace wasn't exactly a layup. And when he famously said,
"Nobody knew that health care could be so complicated,"
many in Congress could only laugh. But shortly after, the president had a health care bill make it through the House.
Thank you very much.
Marking the occasion with a Rose Garden celebration. Michigan Republican Fred Upton was a noteworthy convert who helped move the bill toward passage. But he and others in the Michigan delegation were hoping the Senate could do better.
We're hoping, and when I say I think all 4 of us, we're hoping that they improve the bill. We do. I think we could be unanimous on that. Are we okay on that? Right? We're hoping that they improve the bill. For me, I got a couple of big concerns. I want to make sure that states like Michigan that expanded Medicaid have appropriate cushion.
But it's interesting and telling that you can sit with lawmakers who are reading the same bill, the same language, but seeing very different things. Much of it boils down to a central disagreement.
For me, period. If you live in this country, you've got a right to affordable quality health care.
Health care is a right!
Is health care a right, or is it a privilege? It's a sharp divide not only among politicians, but among the Americans who elect them. How involved should the government be in your health care? If you want them out of it completely, it would mean a huge change, because right now, about 2/3 of Americans who live in nursing homes are dependent on Medicaid. Once upon a time, Senator Mitch McConnell went ballistic on Democrats for going it alone in crafting their health care plan. Yet it's hard to argue that's exactly what he did last week. But now, the Republicans who are voicing displeasure with the bill are the best hope for Democrats who dislike it for very different reasons. Does that matter?
Well, Devin, from my standpoint, we need 3 Republicans to say no in order to stop this. I don't care what the reason is. The bottom line, we need 3 Republicans to say no so we can start over.
But if every time power changes hands in Washington, there's an effort to reverse the work of the previous administration, what kind of progress is even possible?
In a perfect world, we would have all sat down and figured out a way collectively to fix it. And the real problem long term with that is a partisan solution coming out of the Trump administration will just be undone by the next Democratic president, which every few years people have to totally recalibrate their insurance for purposes of health care. That's not the right way to treat our citizens.
Maybe how you feel like you're being treated right now, though. Our special team coverage continues in all of our newscasts tonight. At 5 o'clock, Dr. Frank McGeorge takes a closer look at what's in the Senate bill as it stands right now and how it differs from the Affordable Care Act. At 5:30, our consumer investigator Hank Winchester will pick up the coverage with a look at the possible impact on Medicaid, which you just heard Congressman Upton talking about. And then Hank is back at 6 with a look at the impact on Michigan business, which, of course, is sizable. So stay with us as we continue with this very complex piece of fabric.
It is very complex, and there's a lot of ground to cover.
No doubt.
All right. Thank you, Devin. Ben is back now, and we were talking about what a gorgeous day today was, and of course, things are changing.
Of course. It's not going to stay the same, but you know what? The cool air's gone. We're starting to see these numbers that resemble summer, and it looks like that's what we're going to see as we go forward. So numbers out there close to 80 degrees, 78 at Metro right now, 79 down in Adrian. So a couple locations may actually get to 80 before we finally close the books on today. But the humidity has stayed away, at least for now. It is going to be coming back once we get about noontime tomorrow, and then that's going to start ramping up through Friday. Temperature change between the last 24 hours. Notice that it is a little bit warmer than we were looking at 4 p.m. yesterday. We've had some activity, some rain on the west side of the state, and it looks like just a little appendage of that is trying to work its way into the west zone, but it's drying out pretty quick. So even if we do see a couple raindrops out here in parts of Washtenaw, Livingston County, not going to last very long and not going to amount to much. Overnight, we've got a little bit better chance of seeing some showers move through the area. And that's what's going to be showing here on our forecast map. Once we get past about midnight or so, there'll be a couple scattered showers roll through here. I think a lot of us are going to start out dry tomorrow, but man, timing these thunderstorms out over the next 36 to 48 hours has become a very difficult task. It's possible we could see one at any point during the day, but it looks like the better chances of at least the stronger stuff are going to be in the afternoon, or I should say evening hours here on Thursday. And then once we get into Friday, it's going to be in the afternoon hours. You can see by 1 o'clock that stuff is starting to amass just off to our south and west. So we've got 2 days where we're looking at a severe risk. And again, it's going to be in the second half of both days that we're really going to have to keep our eyes peeled. 66 tonight. Winds will be on the breezy side out of the south at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Again, scattered showers around, maybe a rumble of thunder, but it does look like everything's weakening as it moves this way. Here are the high temperatures tomorrow. We still make another step upward as we make it to the mid 80s, and keep in mind this is even going to be with some scattered thunderstorms around during the day. South zone highs tomorrow generally mid 80s. There's not going to be a whole lot of difference between these numbers in the afternoon hours tomorrow. 83 in Flint, 84 in Canton, and then our north zone still the 80s north of M59. Even in Marlette you'll get to 81, North Branch at 81, and mid 80s down here closer to Oakland and Macomb County. So as we get towards the 4th of July, the 80s are still going to be with us. Unfortunately, so are the thunderstorm chances. It really looks like Sunday is the only day that we can completely rule out a thunderstorm. Could see one there on Saturday as well, so make your plans for the 4th. Could include umbrellas and being inside at times. Sandra.
All right, thank you, Ben. Still ahead here, blame Canada for the creation you're about to see. It's a donut with something extra. I'm going to tell you what this dish is all about coming up in our trending stories. But up first, one company seen actually catering to younger customers is reaching now out to seniors with a brand new service that could help the whole family. We'll be right back.